All right, so here's all the tools you're gonna need to do the exchange. We got a socket wrench, we got the extendo to get inside to the lug nuts, and also it's gonna help for the intake manifold, taking that off. We're gonna need 2 wrenches, 10 millimeter and 13 millimeter. You're gonna need a couple sockets. We got an 8 millimeter, a 10 millimeter, and a 13 millimeter. And you're gonna need your various different socket attachments for different sizes based on your socket wrench. All right, we're also using a flathead screwdriver, needle nose pliers to pry off the hoses, and a torque wrench for torquing down the intake manifold bolts as well as the spark plugs because they're going to need to be torqued to spec. And I would recommend a headband light for working on the engine. And that's all the tools you're going to need to replace the spark plugs in a 2016 Challenger. So to remove your intake, you're going to want to take off those 3 bolts right there. And then you just pull your intake off.
Once you remove those 3 8 millimeter bolts, you're going to want to move this gasket off of the intake with a pair of needle nose pliers. So now the intake is fully off. You want to go ahead, set this to the side. And what we did was we backed off that 8 millimeter bolt on the throttle body to remove the intake, and also it's connected on a ball joint right here on the side, and it's connected by a little plastic hanger, so don't break it. Yep.
As well, connected to the intake is going to be the air temp sensor. You're going to want to unplug that by squeezing down on the backside.
Alright, so at this point, you gotta remove 2 more brackets to remove the intake manifold. There's gonna be a bracket with 2 10 millimeter bolts on this side, and in the back, a bracket with 2 10 millimeter bolts with a 13 millimeter stud bolt that we also have to remove a connector from the top of it, so we're gonna have to use the needle nose pliers again.
Alright, so these 2 bolts in the back here behind the throttle body, you're going to have to get to the back along. So after removing this clip, your throttle body sensor should come right off. Same here, you're going to want to remove that clip, take it off. That's your map sensor. Then we're going to have to take off this hose right here connected to the throttle body housing. And also that hose back there connected to the back of the intake manifold. Alright, set them to the side. That one's out of the way. It's disconnected in the back there. And now you can reach that part right there with those 3 teeth, that's the end of the bolt. You can just see it. So you're gonna wanna remove it from the right side. All right, so after removing that 13mm bolt in the back, we're gonna move on to the upper intake manifold. So there's about 8 bolts on the top you gotta remove that are here, 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 and in there. You're gonna wanna use a long extendo tool. I'm using this to get down deep into these pockets right here. All right, I just went ahead and backed off all 7 8mm bolts that are on the intake manifold upper part. They're all right there, backed off. There's 7 of them. All right, now you're gonna wanna go ahead and just remove your upper intake manifold. Come right off. Set it here.
Next, you're going to want to get some rags and cover up your intakes, because if anything gets in there, that could be life-threatening for your engine. So you don't want nothing falling in those little pockets. We're just going to cover them up with some towels. Alright, nice.
Alright, next up, we got to remove the coil packs. So to get to these coil packs, just simply take off this foam pad. You're going to want to keep it, don't throw it away. And we got 10mm bolts. Alright, after loosening up all the coil packs, you're going to want to get these little quick release clips and take them off by pressing down on that tab. Alright, once you've done that, you can get to removing the coil pack. You just want to jiggle it out till it gets a little pop and take it out. You better pull out, Ronald. Alright, so we're going to be gapping the spark plug now. I went inside because this is a little tedious and I had to gap all of it with needle nose pliers very, very carefully. We're not touching the pin, as you can see. And then you're just going to bend it upwards slightly. After the specs with this gap tool right here, it has a thing on the... Alright, so we're about to remove the last spark plug here. Down in here, you're going to want to go ahead.
And boom, all the spark plugs are out. Get ahead and take that out.
Alright, so now we got the torque wrench out. You're going to want to spec this to 13 foot-pounds for the new spark plugs. We got a little bit of anti-seize. You're going to want to put that on. Go ahead and slowly put her in. Alright, so after you've torqued down all the spark, whatever, you're gonna want to install the coil packs. For me, I got these RIP upgraded performance coil packs. Let's get it. As for installing these, I think you just go ahead and slot it right in. Make sure the screws are lined up. Plugs are out of the way. Then you just screw it in once it's fitted, roughly fitted. Alright, so now that we got our old seal gaskets out, we've removed those towels. Now we're gonna put the new ones in, new seal gaskets. Just go ahead, fit those right in. Should be a little more snug this time. Then you're just going to want to do that for all of them, all 6 of them. And instead of those rabby white ones, we got some nice blue ones. Sick. Alright guys, that was it for my little install video. That was pretty much just how to do the spark plugs, coil packs, seal gaskets, and pretty much remove all the stuff before that. I'm going to be making a part 2 video where I go over how much horsepower I gained, how I feel it may have boosted it, and also the install and assembly video for the cold air intake that I got. That's definitely going to increase the horsepower quite a bit, especially because I have a straight pipe exhaust as well. So more videos to come on the 3.6 Challenger. Yeah, let's get to it.